Yo, welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna learn about the law of cosine. Okay? Since you saw the formulas from the post I made, you better see those because I made those posts so you can have a head to know what's the formulas so you can also solve with me. Because yeah. But today I will solve some, and I will solve only two. I'm only gonna solve two problems, so you could rewatch it and see how I do it. Okay? Because for this video you just need to rewatch it, but in the posts I will give you a question for you to answer. You better answer it, okay? I'm only gonna answer two because you just have to rewatch it, trial and error, okay? Okay, this is what we have to deal with. Let me erase this because it's clogging up a lot of the board right now. Okay. So let's solve this. Okay. Since these are all sides. These are all sides, so the formula that we would be using, and if you saw on the posts, if you didn't, I'll just say it here. We have to use, oh wait, I forgot. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. We have to find what is the angle of A. Even though I didn't mention it, I'll mention it now because yeah, I forgot. Wait, no. No, let's find the angle of C. Okay? And the formula we'll be using, since these three are all sides, is cosine inverse over cosine inverse a squared plus b squared minus c squared over 2ab. So we're gonna use this formula here to find our missing angle. Okay, let me erase it so I could. Okay, since you saw the formula, let's replace the numbers in the form. Let's replace the letters in the formula into numbers. Since it's cosine, it's cosine inverse 1, well, a squared, aka 14 squared, plus 8 squared minus 16 squared over 2 times 14 times 8. Okay, this would be this. If you want to make it a bit easier, you write this all down to get your final answer. That's really easy, but let me put in the calcu. Okay, since I wrote it down on my calculator, you can see here. Let's find out the final answer. Is 89, because since we're finding the angle, okay, we have to round it off to the nearest degree, so it's 88.97. Let's write it down. equals 88.97. Since this one, since we're finding, it just depends on the question, okay? But in my question, we're asking for the nearest degree of our angle. So this one now becomes 89 degrees. So that makes C equals 89 degrees. Our final answer is C is equal to 89 degrees. And let's move on to the next one. Okay, take a good look on the triangle now. Since we're missing the side C and we got an angle C, it's now side angle side. I'll write down the formula and the given so because it's cluttering up most of my whiteboard. Okay, so here's our given, and now I'm gonna write down the formula. Since this is side in angle, or you can say side angle side, it requires this formula because we're gonna be missing the side of C. So our formula is gonna be C squared equals A squared plus B squared minus 2AB cosine of C, aka this. Our cosine of C is this. So now we're gonna change the letters into the numbers, and I'll get you back right with it when I'm done. Okay, so now we got 45 squared plus 65 squared minus 2 times 45 times 65 cosine of 56. Okay, let me get my calculator. Let me write that down. Okay, so our thing is now put it down and let's see the final answer. 2078.72 Okay, then let's write it down. Equals 2978.721. So this is not our final answer because C squared is now coming back to haunt this number. Now C squared 29 equals 2978.721. Since we want to make this lower and we want to make this C squared to make it to C, we use this. C equals this equals 2978.721. We use this to get our final answer. So that equals to C equals, let's write it down on our calculator, this to 2978.721. So you'll get the answer of 52.77. And let's round it off to 54. No, okay, the answer is 54.577666026. But let's round it off to the nearest tenths. So it'll be 54.58. Okay? Because since we're rounding off to the nearest tenths, this 7 will add to this 7, making it 8. So our final answer is 54.58. Our final answer is 54.58. Okay? Let me erase that. Wait. So this is our answer. And thank you for watching this video. Make sure you like and subscribe, guys. Thank you and goodbye.